Okay, so after beating main story, we unlock a few things. First things first is that on the title screen, Trip shows up now. She fills up that space that was empty. And now I'm on my main file. So, beating Trip, beating main story unlocks Trip's story, and we get to unlock Trip as a playable character. Also, we have different costumes. Since Maverick got me the Digital Deluxe Edition, um, we have different costumes. There's Feels the Rabbit, it's just called Rabbit here, and we also have the Lego skins for Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. Trip has no skins. That's
Why Lego skins?
I don't know, but yeah, Trip has her thing. Her Eggmobile is the first boss in Angel Island Zone in Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
I
Yeah.
believe you mean Sonic 3.
Sonic 3, whatever.
Yeah, it's fair.
But yeah, as you can see, I still have the time thing. So the thing,
There's
even
a switch menu.
yeah, even though I did skip the final boss, it still counted as me winning. But Trip is fun. I like Trip, but Trip's story is just the same thing as main story, but you take out everything that's good about main story.
What?
Okay, so
You know, I went through Trip's story, you know?
okay, so it's only single player. You can only play as Trip, and the level design is a lot worse. Like, it's harder, but I feel like isn't earned. It feels more like they're just throwing stuff at you. I don't like Trip's story, and a lot of other people don't like it either. And also, those optional character stages that you had to go, that you could have gone through, you have to go through them as Trip. You have to do both Act 1 and Act Tails in Frozen Base. You have to do Act Amy, Act Knuckle, Act Sonic, all of them. And also, the bosses are even longer in Trip's story.
Yep.
Like that long boss we were dealing with in Speed Jungle Act 2 is way longer. That long boss we were dealing with in Sand Sanctuary, that's even longer. And they throw out faster attacks. The bosses that have insta-kills, they're gonna throw out more insta-kills. And her final boss is even freaking worse. Because remember that big machine that Trip destroyed at the end of Golden Capital Act 2?
Yep.
It's a two-phase boss fight. First you fight Nack in his little space cruiser thing, then you fight the big robot. Both Phase 1 and Phase 2 have a bunch of insta-kills. If you die, you have to do the whole thing all over again. It's honestly not worth it. But thankfully, all the skips that you can do in main story, you can also do in Trip story. Which means, even if I did play through Trip story, which would, again, just be me, there is no co-op in Trip story, I'm just gonna skip through all of it. I'm just gonna skip the final boss. The same ending you saw in main story is gonna be the same thing in Trip story. Hi, I wanted to add a few details to what was just said. So, there have been a few recent updates that actually patch out a lot of these skips that I've mentioned. So before, most other bosses had skips, but in the December update, they've actually patched out most of them. They've patched out Egg Fortress skip, they patched out Sand Sanctuary skip, they patched out a lot of others, including Final Boss skip. You could still do it with Tails and Trip, but I don't know if that's still the case in the January update. The game got updated again earlier this month, and I feel like that this makes the game worse, because now there's no way for you to actually get back to the gameplay. They want you to waste your time waiting for these bosses to complete their attack cycles, waiting for an opening, just waiting. I know players don't want to do that. This is a stark contrast to Frontiers, which pretty much left every speedrunning glitch and trick untouched. The only thing they did touch was Infinite Height exploit with Knuckles, in which they didn't actually stop the combo that could produce it, they instead just made it so that you actually lose height from doing it a few times. And I think that's pretty fair. But here, this makes the game a little less fun, because they're requiring you to go through these lame bosses. So, I'm going to ask you, if you have not updated your game yet, do not update your game. If you don't mind losing out on battle mode, then try to downpatch your game, don't update, but otherwise, again, I'm not a big fan of what they did here. Like, this actively makes the game worse. So I just wanted to include that. So, I'm not covering Trip's story. I don't like it. At least Trip is fine. Trip has a double jump. She can cling to walls, so she basically invalidates Amy and Knuckles. I'm sorry.
Boo.
I like Trip, but I don't like Trip's story. But completing Trip's story unlocks the last story. So, last story. We get this big cutscene. I like the animations of these cutscenes, but
Ah, yes, my favorite Sonic villain, the dragon.
who the fuck is this?
The dragon.
Okay, so so in the stories that's not in the game,
Dragon.
that's posted on YouTube or whatever, comic or whatever, Eggman is looking for, I guess he was looking for this specific dragon? But how did he get released? Where did he get released from? Who is he? Why is he angry? Why is he purple? What?
Why is he's a dark dragon? That's why he's purple.
We don't even know his name. What is this? But I think this is another one of the worst bosses in the game. So this boss, you know how these bosses in this game like to waste your time?
Yeah.
So this boss really likes to waste your time. You're fighting the clock rather than him. So he has all these moves. The only move that's actually kinda dangerous is these black holes, where if you get caught in them, you have to dash out of them, otherwise they'll insta-kill you. This game loves insta-kills, but the controls are the same as with Mania's secret final boss. You fly around, you dash, it costs 5 rings or 10, I think it's 5 rings. But you have to hit these blue meteors to hit him back. You hit him in the stomach when he does the meteor move. But the main gimmick is that you need to find all these rings. They're floating around. And occasionally Tails and Knuckles will come around and drop some rings for you. You can follow them to grab rings, touch them to get even more rings. And sometimes Trip and Amy will show up riding one of the big flickies and they'll drop item boxes, but it's incredibly rare. I've only ever seen Amy do it once. I don't know, have you ever seen Trip or Amy come for this? Do this?
I haven't beaten this boss yet.
Have you even played this boss yet?
Nope. Look, Trip's story's kind of bad, okay? I'll let you go off. It's not bad. It's terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to fight through this. You're fighting the boss. I mean, you're fighting the time rather than the boss. You have to keep looking for these rings, because the boss will just keep wasting your time. And yeah, it exists.
Always nice for your co-op game to end with a single-player boss fight. You know?
It would have been interesting if like Maverick could like assist, could like press buttons on the controller. Like, what's the point of this move here? it's just there to waste time. You can't get hurt. There's no moves that this guy does that makes you lose rings. It's just wasting time. Like this move here, it's just wasting time. You can't hurt him here.
And you know what? You mentioned that this is like the Mania boss fight.
Yeah.
That's a real downside, though.
What?
Unlike the Mania boss fight, you can't hear an awesome version of Fist Bump while you play this boss. Yeah.
That's another thing. The final boss theme is kind of mid. It's just generic bad guy music.
Well, I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Like, I know classic Sonic games aren't big on story, but at least try to explain why I'm fighting this guy.
Yes, except for CD, which had kind of a serious story, and 3, which had actual cutscene. Behold my wall power again.
4 minutes into this boss fight, and sometimes you can't even tell where Tails and Knuckles are gonna show up. Like, I can't even get to him because he did that stupid move.
Behold my rolling thunder attack.
Look, I wanna like this game, I really do, but just play through main story. Main story is where all the good stuff is at.
Are you saying that this is not good? Look at that. You just skipped Tails right there.
He skipped Tails. He controlled that. I did not want to skip Tails. Apparently, if you get hit... Oh yeah, there's also a phase 2. But guess what? If you die, you have to do the whole thing all over again. But, yeah. Sometimes he'll just skip Tails. He'll just do his cutscene move and you'll just lose out on all these rings. Yeah, he's doing...
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, a Cheerio of Doom.
It doesn't harm you. It doesn't make you lose rings. It doesn't kill you. It just wastes time. Like, alright, now he can do the fireballs, which doesn't kill you. Why are you not doing the black hole thing? Wouldn't it be better for you to do the fireball first and then the insta-kill thing here?
Are you lecturing the villain on what to do?
This
and now he's using motion controls to attack.
You can hit the hands to hurt him.
You just fly off to the side and not get hit.
You really don't want to use the dash, because rings are super important, especially when you get to the last part. Here I'm trying to pause to get around.
This isn't the Yellow Devil, okay? You're not gonna do more damage by pausing.
And I just realized, the score... You know how the score doesn't show up normally? You can only see your score if you pause. Why not just have it on screen at all times? That's like we did before.
Hey, you care about score to Sonic game?
It's just a weird thing. Like, why do you have it only show up on the pause screen? Like, what was the problem with just having it on screen normally? Whatever.
It's to take away from the time and the rings. Well, this is very fair.
And also, whenever he does this 2D move, you can only hit him in the stomach. You can't hit him in the head.
2D move. What's going on? Okay, there he is.
Okay, so here's this part. Oh wait, no, it's not. We're not. At that part yet.
There's more. There's a phase 3.
Also, I heard that if you get hit at any point, it'll mess up the timing. That's why, like, whenever he does this move, he'll sometimes skip Tails or Knuckles whenever they're dropping rings. But here's the final move. You have it's basically a quick time event, but for some reason they throw away your rings. You don't have any rings during the section. You can't collect any more rings. If you don't have enough rings during the section when you do this, then you just die.
3, 2, oh shit, are we gonna have to watch this again?
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yep. I'm not doing that. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
This is the end of the playthrough, you die. Everybody dies in the end.
The final boss is not worth it. You have to go through Trip's story in order to get here. You have to go through this lame-ass boss fight. You have to waste 8 minutes of your life just to get even close to the end of this boss fight. And the ending is just kind of mid. Like, why am I fighting this boss? Why is he so...
He wants to take over, he wants to destroy the world.
Why? I don't know this dude.
Cause he's evil.
Why is he evil?
He's a dragon.
But if you do beat the boss, you get another cutscene where Trip uses the stone that was in the hub world. I don't know if you noticed it, but she uses the stone, steals the Dark Dragon, and then we win. But again, why? What are we doing?
It's a dark dragon. Chaos is a water dragon. Oh, here you go. Oh, Chaos.
The Sonic Adventure gave us a reason to care about Chaos. But here it's like,
you don't care about the dark dragon?
No.
He makes dark tornadoes. He's a threat to the world.
So after that,
debacle.
I don't know if you unlock it. I don't remember if you unlock stuff. You unlock a bunch of stuff for your customized thing. This is my main file. That's my abomination. It's got Trip's helmet. You unlock Trip's helmet after you beat main story, I think. So this is the battle mode. We can play offline with multiplayer, single player. Yeah. I'm just so tired. This just
in the recording or now?
Okay, but battle mode. We could play in offline multiplayer. We have this where the screen is split screen.
Poorly.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't even want to think about what it would be like with 3 or 4 players. But if you're playing in offline, you don't get any coins. Normally you get medals, but if you're playing in offline, you don't do that. You have to play online for that. There's 4 different modes on different sets of maps. There's race mode, which is self-explanatory. There's survival mode, where you have to stay on the platforms and don't fall into the pit. You need to stay like that for a whole 60 seconds. And then there's Star Snatcher, where you have to go around collecting stars. Hitting the bombs will cause you to lose stars. Sometimes, I guess, you can collect power-ups to increase your speed or get a shield, but you have to have the most stars at the end of the mode. And there's Zap Scrap, where you shoot the other players using your zappy thing. You can collect item boxes to power up your zaps, but it's only a one-time thing. These modes are kind of bare bones, but yeah. And also the different maps are, you have Green Hill,
Lego Hill.
yeah, we have Lego Green Hill, there's also Frozen Base, Lagoon City, Fresh Factory, Sky Temple. I think that's it. I like the race mode the most.
Because you just won it.
Because it's a lot more skill based, but...
Look at this guy, always with the skills.
But like, yeah, I feel like...
So overall, in a game where the co-op is clearly superior, the actual multiplayer is not that good.
Yeah, it's pretty bare bones. I just like, I just really like seeing other people's creations. Like, I recorded this pretty early on, but as we are now, I have a few other creations. I'll probably show them on screen, but...
Whoa, look at that one! Whoa! Oh!
I feel like this is one of the better ways to get medals because, well, it's kind of a iffy reason because, like, if you play online, the game will fill all the empty spots with medal fighters, and the AI is kind of dumb. So, like, you can just like manipulate them. You can just take advantage of all of them. What you should really do is, instead of trying to compete with real people to get all the coins and raise your rank, there is a ranking in this, by the way, instead you should just wait until the game is kind of dead, and then go online, fight against medal fighters all the time, and then raise your rank all the way up, and keep getting these medals. That's how I keep getting medals. That's how I'm able to just make my medal fighter, like, with all these different things. I don't have the highest rank right now, but I'll just come back later when I feel like the game's dead and just grind it out whenever I got nothing else to do.
Oh, look at this guy. Play with real people. Well, now that we've went through 12 parts of the game, shown off the multiplayer, we got a little time here. Final thoughts, Sonic Superstars.
It's a very mixed bag. Like, there are lots of good things about it, but the level design is very... It leaves a lot to be desired. The Emerald powers are good, but near the end of the game, it felt like I was using the Emerald powers as a band-aid for the level design, rather than actually helping. I like the different characters. I do like playing as Trip, but just not playing as Trip. In her story, and the final boss is like one of the worst final bosses I've seen in a Sonic. The music is also a mixed bag. There's some really good tracks. All the tracks by T-Ropes in this game, phenomenal. Best stuff. June, there's only one good June track, to be honest, and that's Egg Fortress Act 2. It's the Egg Fortress Act 2, because that's the one where he finally pulls out the guitar. There's some other good tracks, like, again, I said Speed Jungle, which wasn't by, well, Act 1 was by T, but Act Sonic and Act 2 were done by, I think it's by a Yakuza music producer? I don't know, but yeah, there's some good tracks, but, it's not this game is not worth $60.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I agree with you with most of it. Soundtrack, not the best stuff. Level design, definitely not the best. I don't understand the level of, like how the community, the Sonic fan base, kind of took it. Cause there was some wild takes when this game first came out. Like just oh, it's super bad. Like it's an okay game. It's an okay Sonic game, and that's okay. Not everyone can be Sonic. Not every game can be Mania. You know, it can't all be on that level. What it is, I recommend if you do get the game, play it with some friends. I had a great time playing it with my pal here. I would love to play it again with him. It's a good game when you're playing with your friends, kicking back, having a good time. Single player, definitely it's okay that first story, but again, I agree with the trip story, no. No. And the last boss, it just is unappealing. The boss fights are unappealing. So again, it's an okay game. Just get some buddies and you'll be okay playing it.
That's Superstars. And again, if, like you said, if you're gonna get this game, get it with some friends, and maybe wait for a sale. But that's about it.
Spend $120 like me. You're funding the next Sega project.
I hope. I just this is a game that came after Sonic Mania, and I hear some people are saying it's a good first step, but we've already had a few good first steps. We already had Mania, we had Frontiers. How about we just have a good game from start to finish? But whatever. It was an alright title.
Well, that's why you buy this one, so the next one will be good.
But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on here, Maverick. And
no problem.
Yeah. That's about it. See you guys next time.